food and believed by some to prevent the plague.
Well, it was actually more valuable than gold, sort of weight for weight. And if you managed to get a sack full, whether you stole it or actually managed to buy it from the local people, it would set you up in Europe with a fine house and probably enough money left over to live a life of reasonable luxury.
And the Banda Islands were the only place in the world where nutmeg grew. The Bandanese, though, paid a high price, the Dutch brutally enforcing their monopoly over the trade, as local business leader Abu Riza explains.
In order to control these islands, the Dutch generals said we have to change the mindset of the people. They massacred, basically exterminated the indigenous people. Almost half the population were slaughtered. The rest fled, and the others were taken to the other islands as slaves.
The dance that I'm watching now represents the murder of the noble people, the Bandanese, and most of the population. At one point, the dancer putting a white flower in his mouth, symbolizing the fact that they were silenced. Nutmeg is still farmed here in the fertile volcanic soil. Ponky is the 13th generation in his family to run their plantation, one of the oldest here. He says he's proud to continue the tradition of his ancestors, even though he gets just $8 for a kilogram of nutmeg. Things are much quieter these days on Pulau Run. We're off the coast now on a boat, and a pod of dolphins has just swum past, leaping out through the crystal blue water. There's electricity just a few hours a day on the island, but the locals are hopeful that this festival will once again bring the eyes of the world back to these incredible islands and the unique role they played in history.
That was Rebecca Henschke reporting. Now, new research at the UK's MRC Laboratory of Molecular Biology has found that wounds heal more quickly if they're sustained during the day rather than at night. The study into burns patients found that nighttime burns took 28 days to heal on average compared to 17 days for daytime ones. It's the latest evidence of the importance of our body clocks, or circadian rhythms, in the treatment process. It follows the awarding of this year's Nobel Prize for Medicine to a team of American scientists who discovered that a clock ticks in nearly every cell of the human body. Well, Dr. Paul Kelly is a specialist in body clocks and the so-called circadian medicine from the Open University here in the UK. So what does he make of these new findings?
It's a very interesting piece of research that has real consequences for people who have burns. And it's perfectly believable that the body clocks that we have are controlling the way that we respond to burns.
How does the body clock, or how do the body clocks, I guess we have to emphasise it's plural because every cell has its own clock, how do they work?
They're genetically driven in that they're inbuilt and inherited, and they're not something that we can change. So what we have is a system, a biological system, that attunes individuals and all of their organs to a certain pattern.
And beyond that, this knowledge about our body clock and the effect it has on burns healing, how else might this be applied?
Well, you've probably read about the heart surgery, that in fact people who have heart surgery have better results if they have them in the afternoon. And the people who won the Nobel Prize this year were people who had discovered the genetic basis of all the timing of all our organs through the body clocks. So this is medicine which is now informed by what time is it.
In terms of operations, for example, then, does this mean we should be scheduling them at specific times of the day?
Yes, it does. And ideally, it would be done at the time that suits each individual according to their body clocks, because it varies between people, their body clocks.
And when we say individuals, we mean the patient and the surgeon?
That's quite astute of you to pick up. It does matter the state that the doctor is in. So, for example, medical shifts currently are very unhelpful for the best performance of doctors.